Future State, Batman Superman issue 2, Gene Luen Yang writing with Ben Oliver on art. The False Face Society, Professor Pig, all that stuff we're continuing with. So, yeah, there was a general enjoyment of the last issue, if not overly enthusiastic. Okay, Connor was more negative. He's making a face at me.
It was okay. I think I gave it like a 5 or 6.
Sure. All right. And this, yeah, I can tell. I think if you like the last issue, you'll probably be into this one well enough. I think mainly I like the demented Professor Pig, performing stuff on Superman, or the insane, like, weird mutation that he made out of Superman's DNA, which is just like a flesh with eyeballs. Like, rats have got like little eyes with heat vision in them, and
yeah, that was out there for sure.
I wasn't really feeling all the pigeons with eyes that have X-ray vision.
Yeah,
I was kind of into that. Or Pig
certainly
having
a grab bag of ideas.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah, you're just throwing stuff out.
Professor,
sure, why not?
Professor Pig having like big pig hands, like, or pig heads as hands, was just kind of a surreal visual.
It was such a weird thing because like he went all in on Pig, because usually Pig is a guy in a mask, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And went all in on these mutations. And then Mr. Toad, who is usually a genetic mutant to be a toad, is just got one of those face changer masks on that we saw in one of the other comics.
Yeah. Batman's obviously worried about Superman. Probably my favorite little moment in the book is when they first see each other, run into each other in the hall. And Superman says something kind of meaningful. He says he's relieved to see me. He tries not to show it, but I can tell. He almost never calls me Soups, because he's just called him Soups. And then you get Batman's narration, and it's just, he's not dead. Good. And that made me laugh.
Yeah. I do love the dueling. That's one of my favorite things in a Batman Superman book, are the dueling narration boxes.
Yeah.
Like that. They add to some fun moments like that.
I'm still not feeling their voices, though. I think like the narration boxes are fine. It's the dialogue that still feels wrong. Yeah. There's a bit where Batman just goes, "Oh hell," when he sees that they've synthesized kryptonite. I'm like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a Batman line.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I fell asleep trying to read this 3 times this week.
Mm-hmm.
Just being in bed. Not that it was bad or anything, but I was just like,
wasn't captivating you enough.
No, and I one night in particular, I had laid down where my wife could see the screen, and she goes, "All right, put the iPad down. You've been on that page for 5 minutes, and you haven't moved anything. Yeah, you go to bed." And so, and yeah, I mean, again, it's fine. I appreciate what Yang had done here with Pig, because he is. I always feel like if there's one character that you can go completely insane to the walls with, is Professor Pig. Yeah, and it's not going to feel out of character at all. So I feel like Yang was having a lot of fun with him.
Honestly, the biggest complaint I have with the issue is more just when it tries to shoehorn in that they have this disagreement about why Superman should stay out of Gotham and not help with the Magistrate. Is that
I didn't like that.
They might use your DNA again, so you need to stay away. It felt a little bit forced, and just to try and explain things.
Trust too much. We need to be harder.
I think the problem with it is that it's trying to explain something that's always a problem that we just ignore anyway, which is, there's several things if Superman just came to help, he would solve very quickly. And likewise for other heroes that could show up and help various other heroes.
What's frustrating for me is that it actually touches on the idea of why Superman doesn't. Is that, no, I trust you to deal with it. Because he actually says, you're going to handle it. I trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always trusting in Batman to handle his problems, and that if he needs help, he'll ask for it. But at the same time, has this weird misunderstanding of Batman being like, no, get out of Gotham. Get out of my city. It's like, it's this weird dichotomy of like completely getting one of them and completely getting the other one wrong, that I almost don't understand how someone has that viewpoint on both of them at the same time.
Yeah, because I feel like we're past the point where like Batman's that protective over Gotham, because you have that many people operating there. Like, I'm sure, I feel like there's a way that they could have done it where he goes, I don't need you getting mixed up with the Magistrate, knowing, because he's already revealed himself, right?
Yeah.
and like he doesn't need the magistrate weaponizing that even more than they already could. You know what I mean? But like, just the reason that Yang gives it does feel weak.
I think
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm that big a fan of Yang ultimately, because everything I've tried from him I've kind of bounced off of eventually. I think I gave New Superman a handful of issues when it was kind of exciting and fresh. Didn't like his Terrifics at all. And then these 2 issues have kind of been like, eh. Like, they're not the worst things ever, don't get me wrong.
No,
But
I'm excited to see what he does with the Batman Superman coming out of Infinite Frontier.
I wish I was, because
Yeah.
I want to. I always want to like his stuff because the concepts sound like, oh, I should be interested in this. But whenever I read it, I kind of bounce off it.
I mean, I generally had fun with this 2-parter, even though it's definitely not without its faults. But it's kind of that thing where I'm not like praising it in a way where I think it's like excellent like comic book. I'm like, I'm having fun with kind of some of the fun, goofy ideas with the monster mutations and kind of the wackier elements of it, as opposed to it being more of a serious book.
I will give credit to this issue for having more ice than I realized. Because I'm just looking at the credits page now, and Ben Oliver, who did the first issue, is working with Steven Segovia on pencils and inks, but you have Scott McDaniel on the breakdowns as well. It feels a lot more consistent than there's 3 different people working on it. So I will give you credit for that. I would never have guessed there are 3 different people working on this issue. Whereas, especially after the first issue, which I believe was just Ben Oliver, and I don't feel like there's a noticeable difference in the art between the 2 issues. It still feels pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What are you giving it, Matt?
I'm gonna give this one a 6.5.
I
think I'm just gonna give this a 5. I think it's fine.
I'll probably agree with Matt. Give it a 6.5. Well, there's not enough time, though. But I had fun with the pig stuff and whatever. Yeah. It's the sort of thing, though, like, will I keep reading the ongoing Office at this level? I mean, probably not. I don't see.
But as a 2-issue mini, you're like, fine. But if it was this all the time.
So, yeah, we'll see how that goes.